I can't stand. I say I can't stand Goblin. I'm not a big fan of Goblin, dude. I feel like the Goblin. I feel like
Whoa!
I
I
know.
love
I
you,
know.
Matt.
I
I'm
know.
sorry. I'm not a big fan of
Shit,
Goblin
dude.
either.
It's
Me and
just me.
Paul are about to.
I'm not. I'm
Are you
not a. I'm
serious?
not a
I'm
huge.
on Team
Yeah.
Matt here.
Yeah.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
When there's no more room in hell.
All right. So I love Dawn of the Dead. It's one of my favorite films ever, and I'm trying to figure out how to articulate this the right way. Um, I think that the Goblin soundtrack serves the film. I think it does a good job as sort of that uplifting, you know what I mean? Like it kind of helps bring that comic book to life. I can't stand. I say I can't stand Goblin. I'm not a big fan of Goblin, dude. I feel like the Goblin. I feel like
Whoa!
Matt,
I know.
love you,
I know.
Matt.
I know.
I'm sorry. I'm not a big fan of
Shit,
Goblin
dude.
either.
It's
Me
it's
and
just me.
Paul are about to.
I'm not. I'm
Are you
not a. I'm
serious?
not a
I'm
huge.
on Team
Yeah.
Matt here.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of the prog type stuff that they did, and like I said, I appreciate the soundtrack. I appreciate. I see Paul's like fucking losing it. I listen, and the demon stuff I think is great too. I love
Oh, I
seeing
love the
Claudio
demon stuff.
Simonetti. I've got fucking 15 versions of the Dawn soundtrack on vinyl. I listen to it. It's great, but I'm not a fan of the band. I'm not a fan of that style of music. Everybody's always wearing Goblin shirts and praising Goblin. Dude, I just can't get into it. It's just not my flavor. It's not my style. I think you know, and if again, we've talked about this in the past when it comes to soundtracks. If you were to ask me personally, and it could be my own bias because of how much I love Day of the Dead, I think John Harrison's score completely eclipses the Goblin score to Dawn. That's just my opinion. I love what he did in that film. I come from a place, we talked about fucking Nine Inch Nails for 30 minutes earlier. Synth driven music has always appealed to me. It's always been more of like my thing. I love industrial. I love synth stuff. And John Harrison soundtrack, even the tropical flavor stuff. I I love it. I love it. And it speaks to me. It appeals to me. The Goblin stuff doesn't. Well, I think that it elevates the film. I think that the Goblin score elevates Dawn to a certain level. It doesn't speak to me the same way as John Harrison's score. And let's take away John Harrison's score out of it and go back to what we were originally talking about. I don't really like I don't really like Goblin that much. I just don't. I don't. I will, if Claudio Simonetti comes back, I'll go see it again. I love it. I love seeing him live. I love the soundtrack to that film. I think it elevates it, but I'm just not a fan of that style of music. That's just not me, dude.
I'm kind of with Matt on this one.
All right, go ahead, Paul.
I got no problem with Goblin, but I don't like the Argento cut that much. It's my least favorite of the three.
Yeah.
And I don't like that they took out the comedy. This is my hot take. And I really don't like the music because I love the library music. I love it. I love it. Like, I fucking love it. And when I watch anything, even when I watch the extended cut, it's fine. It's fine. It's better than the Argento cut. But it's not like the theatrical. The theatrical is my favorite. And when I watch it, I love every bit of the music. I love every, like, the Wolf Library music cue. I love it. And the Goblin little bit is fine. But when I watch the Argento cut, I'm like, I just want to watch. It makes me want to watch the theatrical cut just to put me in a better mood.
Well,
that's my hot take. There it is. Yeah.
Paul, go ahead.
Oh
bro.
man, let me put my fucking bulletproof vest on.
Me too.
You know what? No, that's fine. You know what, you guys, you have your opinions. I totally respect that. With Dawn, I mean, George, in his editing, by contract, was obligated to use some of the Goblin music. You know, Argento funded Dawn of the Dead, you know, to be filmed in the U.S. Without Dario Argento's funding, it wouldn't have gotten fucking made. That's plain and simple. So somewhere in that contract, George had to use some Goblin music, whether George clearly listened to the entire LP of, Zombie, whatever Goblin had recorded in, like, let's say mid 78. Goblin had just finished recording Dawn of the Dead, ready for the Italian release. Zombie, let's put this in Germany, France, probably England too at the time. Well, actually, no, they probably got the theatrical cut, but that's beside the point. So George is editing Dawn in mid 78, ready for a 79 release. He's got all the DeWolf library stuff picked out, and he has some Goblin stuff picked out too. I'm going to use these, let's say, 4 or 5 tracks in the theatrical cut and the extended cut. Songs that he at least liked and appreciated and would work well in these certain scenes. And that goes a long way with George's, love for just soundtracks in general. He wasn't a big Goblin fan too. He admitted it, and that's okay. He liked the cheesier, campy, not campy, but cheaper library stuff. And his library stuff, the DeWolf stuff, works fucking perfect. And even in the amusement park, he used the same stuff. And it's fucking awesome. Nothing wrong with that. So he in that time, let's say 73 through 78, maybe even Martin at that time, but that was Rubinstein. He still had to save money somehow. So he didn't have a composer. He was using the library stuff. And it was kind of cool. I'm going to say, like, he had the DeWolf stuff to use, but he also had this little tiny plethora of Goblin music to use. And I love that he chose those Goblin songs in those scenes in Dawn of the Dead. Whether or not he liked them, he was just obligated to use them. Like, okay, this is going to work. I kind of like Lacasia in the truck scene and in the car scene driving through the mall. Let's fucking do it. And I'm sure Dario was probably like, oh, that works great in that scene. But, Dario didn't give a shit because he had full reign of Goblin music in the Italian cut. So, bottom line, it was, I'm very, very blessed that George chose the Goblin stuff for his cut to be in those certain scenes. But if George had his way, he would never have used them. He would have said, Dario, I appreciate your funding. This movie's going to get made. You can do what you want, but I'm not going to use any of this fucking band's music. But,
now, I don't have a problem with Goblin itself. Like I love the Suspiria. Like, I love Demons. I love all the stuff that they've done that was good. Like that stuff. But when I look at like you said, the Argento cut versus the theatrical, I love the theatrical. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. It's my favorite movie of all time. There's nothing I would change about the theatrical cut of Dawn of the Dead. And every time I watch the extended version, the Argento version, even like the fan cut versions, no, it just makes me want to watch the theatrical again.
I think the Goblin cut is what completely, like the Argento cut, like the Goblin stuff, completely turns my stomach in that version of the film. I can't, dude. I don't.
It makes me I watch it and then I have to watch the theatrical version to put me in a better place.
That's what I do. Yeah, I'm like, all right, I got to go back now. I got to cleanse my palate and fucking start over now.
That's exactly it. Yeah. Cleanse your palate.